Do you complain about DoorDash? I know we all do, but the life of a dasher, let's face it, it isn't easy. Believe me, I've been doing this for over 6 years, most of it full time. It can honestly break you down because it could be stressful, frustrating, and do some of you experience burnout? Because let's face it, that's definitely real. You're human, right? We all experience it at some point, whether you're part time and you're doing this as a side hustle or you're full time and it's part of your income. We are all here to make money, but at what cost? Do we all sell our souls to DoorDash just a little bit? So today we are going to go over the reasons why doing this DoorDash life is breaking us down. What is the solution? And one of these things breaking us down, I'm sure you can relate to. Now, let's talk stress, right? I always say this is honestly the easiest job you can possibly have, right? There's nothing complicated than taking an order, picking up an order, and dropping off an order. However, when you think about DoorDash, DoorDash is frustrating, but you think about life and you add it to the mix of DoorDash and you're trying to make money, but you might not be achieving what you want to achieve, whether it's part time and you have your own goals in mind, or you're full time and you need the money in order to pay your bills. Life and DoorDash can be stressful and can easily stress you out. Believe me, I've been there because all stress in the world, a lot of it revolves around money and the money we make. Will we ever make enough? Probably not. Will DoorDash ever be consistent? No, but it will make you money. It's just how much money. And I think that's where the stress comes in and the stress lies. So I think stress is a big part of the DoorDash life, even though we might not understand it or realize it at the time until it actually really happens. I just said it, but here's the next thing. DoorDash is frustrating. It's either you're maintaining your acceptance rate to keep a tier and you get frustrated that they keep sending you crap order after crap order, and the only thing you're trying to do is maintain a high acceptance rate because you want to be able to dash now, or you want to be able to receive a good order volume, or you're not in a tier, but it's frustrating because you're not receiving any orders and you might have to wait 10 minutes, 20 minutes, a half hour before the next order comes in. And if that's crap, you're just going to decline it until the next one comes in. And then it's a waiting game until you actually take an order. See, it's frustrating, right? But not only that, but DoorDash is always changing, right? They're never in the favor of the driver. Every update they do is usually to benefit them, not the driver, and it usually makes our lives either harder, more difficult, or less money. Whatever you want to put in there, which is why they're just so darn frustrating. So let me ask you a question. Do you find DoorDash frustrating? I feel like we all have that little level of, there are days where we think it's fantastic because you're actually making money. And then we have those days where you're like, this app is the worst app ever because I only made $20 in 3 hours. That's the key. Next, let's talk work-life balance. Because let's face it, you're trying to make the same or more by working more because DoorDash keeps taking away from drivers. But how do you balance that and actually have a life? Because DoorDash, let's face it, can suck the life out of you. This is one that I personally struggle with. How do I keep everybody happy? How do I still go out and achieve my goals when DoorDash keeps trying to take away money, or I keep making less money and I feel like I need to stay out longer in order to maintain what I am? Granted, multi-apping was the solution for me, and that's how I am able to balance it. But if you're a person or a driver who just does DoorDash, it could be honestly a challenge really trying to figure out, how do I still maintain the money that I want and the money that I need? How do I get more when it doesn't seem like that's a possibility? That's honestly an issue I see with part-time and full-time. If you're part-time, you're maintaining your regular job and then you're going out for 2 or 3 hours, maybe a night. Maybe you're working an 8-hour shift during the weekend to get some extra cash. So you're like literally constantly working from full-time and you go right into DoorDash. So when do you stop and pause and take time for yourself, even if you don't have a family? When do you sit and actually watch TV? I always said the other day, I said, what's TV? If you are enjoying this video and you're getting value out of it, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to hit that thumbs up button right on the bottom. So the next thing is burnout. It happens to the best of us a lot of times because of work-life balance, and you're not balancing, and you're going and you're going and you're going and you never stop. I am guilty of that, just like you are. There are many times I feel like I can just keep going and going and going, and if I don't think about it, I can keep on going and going. But then I get to what I call the wall. Like, I feel like I get to the point where like I can't go anymore. Like, I need to stop and I need to breathe and I need to take time for myself. And burnout is real. Hopefully it doesn't happen to you, but I am keeping it real because it has happened to me. You know, we try to balance, but sometimes, a lot of times, we lose ourselves in this process because we lose ourselves in making money. We lose ourselves of, I need to take the next order, I need to take the next order, I need to take the next order. And you're out there, you set yourself, okay, I'm going to go out for 2 hours. I'm going to go out for 3 hours. Well, 2 hours turns into 3 hours, turns into 4 hours, turns into 5 hours. And when do you stop? When do you say enough is enough? Is I need to listen to myself and my body and my mind. A lot of this is also mental, right? You put some mental power into your day. So when I listen to my body, my mind, my family, and say, okay, I need to stop. Okay, so that brings me to my next one. What is the solution? I don't know what everybody's financial situation is. Only you know what your own situation is. But guys, take breaks. If you can afford to take, God, a full day off, do it. If you can afford to take an hour off, do it. If you just need 15 minutes, go to a park, take a breather, and relax or eat for those 15 minutes. That's the thing. Another thing, guys, I feel like with drivers, we always forget to take care of ourselves. And I think that is a big solution. I know sometimes I forget to eat. Sometimes you forget to drink because you're constantly going and moving on to the next order. I've learned to keep my car full of snacks and water and drinks. So I do take those moments. It isn't always about taking the order. Sometimes it's okay, and I'm giving you permission to care about yourself. There will always be orders, and there will always be money to be made. It's never going away. It's always going to be there, and it will be there tomorrow. You know, the thing with DoorDash and any of these apps you can put in there is they're unpredictable, which kind of makes life unpredictable. You never know going into the day if you're going to have a good day and you're going to make lots of money, or you're going to have a bad day and it's going to be frustrating. And that day might be the day that you just burn out. And I think that's the thing. But for me, and hopefully for you, it's all about balance and knowing when to go and when to stop and calling it quits. And so there is a reality. Is there any ones that I missed in the reality of being a dasher? Let me know in the comments. Can you relate to any of these? Do any of these affect you as a dasher. A lot of times people ask me, how do you make more money on the DoorDash app? Well, you're going to want to check this video out next, and I'll see you over there.